What up, bitches and hoes? Welcome to episode 142 of Fresh Off the Mats. We're not trying to get monetized. What's up? It's here. It's seminar day. We're filming on seminar day. The back room is finally done. Finally, the back room is done. Brother. We now have mat room 1 and mat room 2, and I'm so happy that it's done.
That was like a year in the making. I should have been talking about almost every week.
And it was half done, like we had a half room matted.
You guys, it'll be done, I promise. We'll get it done. That shit was taking forever. It's all good, now it's finished.
Thank God.
Dude is having a fucking panic attack.
Yeah, this guy's no help. He added more to my laundry list this week, putting a fucking hole in the wall. A year and a half we've been at this location with 10 times the amount of people than there were that night. Not a single hole in the wall. A week of a seminar, this motherfucker's like, let me put a hole in the wall.
Yeah, it wasn't my foot. The other guy's foot.
Oh, sorry. He swept somebody into the wall and put a hole in the wall. Yeah. So it's all good. It's all patched up. It looks
2
beautiful.
points.
You can't even tell. It doesn't even look like there's a
different colored paint.
That's not paint.
Oh, that's just the plaster?
When you put the pink stuff on, it dries that color. So now it's fully dry. It dries white, but it's not going to be the same
Why
way.
don't you just paint it? Don't you have the buckets?
I have. When we wrap up today, I'm going to quickly put a little paint on it.
Okay.
Yeah. Let it dry for the day. Yeah.
It was a perfectly placed foot.
Yeah. Only feet.
Only feet. You all right?
Yeah, I'm just glad to be done.
We're not done.
What do you mean?
Till tonight. Who knows what could happen?
Bro, I don't want any more surprises. You ever reach a point in your life where you're like, I can't handle another unexpected surprise? Yes. I just can't. Yes. I can't. At this point in my life, I want no more surprises. I don't want any more hiccups. Bro, that saying God gives his toughest warriors the hardest battles. I'm done, bro.
Hey, I'm
done.
Bitch, bro. Leave me
I'm
alone.
a bitch. I don't want any more tough battles.
I'm not tough. I'm
not trying to
be
prove
tough.
anything. Let me be your weakest soldier, bro. Let me be. I'm done. I'm done. Give me the easy task. I'm ready for side quests.
So the other road is easy? Give me that one.
Give me that one.
It was like, you get built on the hard road. Well, I don't want to. All right.
At least for this week. For this week, I'm spent. I don't need any more new shit to happen to me this week. God damn. What's next? A flat tire?
Nice Guys closes down.
If Nice Guys closed down, this would ruin me. So if you guys don't know, there's a restaurant in Cape Coral called Nice Guys, and we are religious. We're pretty religious. We're there, 90% of the Friday nights out of the year? There's a few that we don't go because we have comps the next day, but 90% of our Friday nights, if you want to assassinate all of Gracie Jiu-Jitsu Southwest Florida, you could do it at Nice Guys because we're there.
A bunch of the upper belts.
Yeah. We all go after open mat. We sit down, have food, and it's our favorite place to go. The drinks are good. The food is good. The pizza's fantastic. I never feel like shit the next day. Maybe they sponsor me with a patch on my gear. Maybe they don't. I don't know.
They do. I will say that is one thing I did like about them.
Yeah.
Is that I don't feel heavy the next day. Even and I get the normal pizzas. It's like, but I don't feel like.
And wings, their sauce doesn't make you get bubble guts the next day. And shit
it doesn't mess me up. It's like, it's definitely.
It's top notch. Please never change. We love coming there. It's great.
Pause.
What are your pause? Coming. What am I going to say? We love arriving there? That sounds fucking weird.
It's like, you ever met someone who uses big words and just to try to sound smart, but it's like, bro,
stop.
Being smart
dumb.
Means to not use that in like normal, like
context.
Normal conversation.
You ever meet somebody who likes to use big words around people that they don't know the big words just to one up? And I'm like, bro, can you suck your own dick any harder? Like, can you? I'm so smart.
I'm the smartest person here.
You don't know philanthropy.
My favorite thing is when people tell me, they're like, cursing is a sign of unintelligence. I was like, really?
Good.
Like,
good. I'm dumb as fuck.
Yeah, all right.
I prefer people to think I'm dumb as fuck. I really do. I don't want people thinking I know all the answers because then they're going to come to me and bother me. I'd rather people be like, he's just a dumb meathead. he doesn't have life figured out. He's a dumbass. I'd rather
Yes.
people have that perspective of me.
Damn
Good.
right.
Stay away from me. I'm stupid as fuck. I'm crazy. I'll kill you in the middle of the night.
That's what
Let's not
That
have
was killing?
sleepovers. I'll just shank you.
that was killing.
Ah!
Dicks. If you're really good at
I'll
Photoshop,
suck all the cock out of you.
put dicks in
I'll
his
suck
hand.
all the semen
Do it.
out of you.
Yeah, right there. Just
Yeah.
dicks in his hand. Please do
Yeah, bro. I think it's a better way to live your life. I think when you try to act like you're a know-it-all, it's too much expectation. Like people are just like, ask that smart guy. And it's like, leave me
Dude, it
alone.
was funny. Travis sent me this thing, that thing that we talked about, and he sent it to me, and I sent him all the answer for it because I looked it up because it was interesting, and I sent him the answer that I got from ChatGPT. But before I was able to respond with this is according to ChatGPT, I just sent him it. And he goes, "Look at you, Mr. Know-It-All," and I was just like, and then the next text message that popped up for me was according to ChatGPT because it just couldn't fit.
Yeah.
And he just started laughing at it. He was just like, "Why did you research it?" I was like, "Why do you think I just know random bits of information?"
But
bro?
do you know that there are people out there that use ChatGPT to sound smart or make crazy descriptions in their posts? But you know damn well that's not how they talk. It's like, who you fooling, bro? Who you fooling? If you use it, I'm not saying don't use it. But if you use it, don't take the claim that you know all these big fancy words and you try to act smart. Just say, hey, I put it through ChatGPT.
You know, like words that
You know what I do? From my Magic the Gathering videos on YouTube, in the description section, I copied that from ChatGPT. I didn't write that whole big thing that I copy and paste. I have it saved in my pinned notes, and I just copy and paste it.
How does it work? What does it do?
I asked ChatGPT to write me a YouTube description that engages the algorithm and uses keywords to help promote my channel and stuff, and that's what I did.
Hell yeah.
I made it descriptive, and I made it a good describer, and then I copied and pasted into the thingamabob.
How many times have you ever done a country accent?
I
I love that the answer was a banjo. Let's talk about Sinners. If you haven't seen it, fuck you.
Spoiler alert, we don't give a fuck. You should have seen it by now.
Yeah, especially
Sinners
it's on
is
Prime now. You
dope
can't see it.
as fuck.
Yes.
If you haven't seen this movie, bro,
Go
with
see
Michael B. Jordan and Michael A. Jordan, you are missing out. They give the performance of a lifetime. Bro,
You're an idiot.
it's such a good movie.
Bro, I loved it. So Mac and I, when we went to go see the movie, all she looked up, she saw that it said horror adventure. I didn't know the horror part. I only saw the commercial, and the commercial I saw was Michael B. Jordan, and it was like when he was standing in front of the car, like that scene where they're waiting to go buy the thing. But it just showed him. It didn't show when it was the twins. So I only saw him. And then that was it. And I forgot, like, it showed like the other actors and actresses. And I was like, oh, this is going to be a good movie. Like,
But
they
the
got some
trailer
good
doesn't
people.
reveal what kind of horror.
So that was it. And so Mac looked it up, but she didn't watch a trailer. It just said horror adventure, something about the twins. And so we're going into this movie.
Do you really classify them as vampires? I think they're more demons than vampires. It's more
No,
the
they're-
devil.
No, they're vampires. They followed all the vampiric rules,
Yeah.
like having them request
Oh
to
yeah,
pass
the
the doors.
garlic
Yeah,
and
They did everything that.
because like
required it
at
to
the
be.
end when the final boss turns like, "Rrr," I'm like, oh, he's more like a
he was burning
sent
in the
from
sun.
Satan, like he's a demon.
Vampire
I don't know.
for sure. He was burning in the sun.
I know they're vampires now that I'm thinking about it.
Everything about it was literally vampiric.
But it was just like anti-God and shit like that. So I was like, oh,
It wasn't.
that's evil.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
When?
When they start saying Shyamalan and blah 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 blah.
You're an idiot.
I don't know. It was good.
You know, that's the only bad ratings I ever saw about that movie.
What?
Was just like people who were Christians and they were saying how like, oh, this movie is pushing to be against Christianity. And I was like,
No,
when I watched the movie, I was like, there were some scenes where I can see where they would like, I could get it to where they could like talk about hell and all that, but I was like, get over yourself, dude. It's a movie.
But I think they were just trying to intertwine that like vampires are
Yeah.
basically demons.
Yeah,
like you know what I mean?
like
They're
a demon
monsters.
walking
Yeah,
around.
yeah,
like
yeah.
fucking Jesus. Dude,
Yeah.
what do you expect?
No, I thought it was really well
Yeah.
done. I liked it a lot.
But yeah, that's when her and I went to go see it. The first hour, outside of that opening scene when the flashes happen, now you see what Travis and I were talking about, like when he's in the church and then it shows the flashes from the night before.
Yeah.
And then the whole next hour had nothing to do with anything horror.
Yeah.
And so Mac and I were watching the movie and we were confused as fuck because we were like, what the hell was that opening scene? like the movie is still so good, but we had no clue what was going on. And then finally, when the vampire stuff started happening, it like picked up immediately.
I know why I thought it was demonic more than vampires, because that whole trope of like you have to invite them in is like
a
vampire thing, but it's also a demon thing as well.
It?
Like spirits and stuff, like Ouija boards, like those things don't just happen to you. You have to invite them in. You have to like conjure.
I know, but I just know for vampires, the old school thing was like you have to welcome them into your home, and then that's when they can.
Well, that's why they always had a vampire familiar in a lot of those old school movies.
Yeah,
they had the guy who would like be the spy for the vampires because he was always promised like to be a vampire.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, you're a part of our team.
I forget what they called them.
Vampire familiar.
Is that it? Just a familiar?
Yeah, that's what they call him. That's the mark who's like working for the vampires, but it's still a human.
I think there's another name though.
They might call it something else.
I heard it in a game before, and I was like, "What the hell is that?" It's just like they're the underling of like the vampires.
They're a human that's working for the vampires because they're not promised. They're promised
because they look at it as like the immortality and all that to be able to have that benefit.
But it was good, man. Good writing. I forgot the Asian family's name, but like when they use like the husband as a mark against the wife and shit.
Yo.
And they're like, we know where Lindsay lives.
Yeah.
Like, oh!
So the second
she goes, come get us, motherfuckers. I was like, I would have stabbed that bitch and like, shut the fuck up.
So fast. Bro, that's what I said. So Mac and I were watching it. The second they brought up the daughter, when he was like, I know everything about him. I know what you like, and I know where your daughter lives, right? And the second she said that, Matt goes, she's the weak link. And I was like, nah, I think she'll be good. She might tough it out. And then the next scene was when she screamed, come inside, motherfucker. Bro, I was like, kill her. I was like, fuck, dude. Bro. But the whole
scene where they open up the door slowly and they come walking through,
and they're just like, we're in, bro. So the one gripe I had.
You stayed for after the credits, right?
Oh, okay.
Do you know how many people left when the credits started rolling?
There was
I said to Danielle, I was like, hey, the lights aren't on.
Exactly. That's how you know. If they keep the lights off, they're going to show something else. You got to stay. And it was so important. It was huge on what they showed at the end, dude. When they got to talk to the guy.
5 minutes?
It was like 5 or 10 minutes. Like it wasn't just a quick little 30-second clip. It was, bro. Yeah. That shit was good. The fact that he traveled that whole time with this girl, that shit. I was like, oh, that's intense. Yeah. What do you think they're gonna make another, or like that was just to kind of show like, do you think it was just?
I think that was just to leave it open ended, but I don't know. I think that would be stupid to make Sinners too. What's the story gonna be?
Yeah, I guess because they don't have the guy anymore. It would just be maybe him taking over and him becoming like the Vampire King.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
It was.
Please don't. But I can see how.
Honestly, like leave it on a really good note. But I trust Michael B. Jordan with good movies. I think he's a phenomenal actor. So watching him in
his
movies
brother's
is good.
proven as well. If you don't know, Michael B. Jordan is not a twin, but in the movie he plays a twin, which you give them credit. They did a good job with stitching the
How, dude?
They did a really good job. They must have had somebody who looked similar to Michael B. Jordan who would stand from the back for certain shots.
They definitely did that if they were turned around or something. They do that in most movies, but like when they had them
insane. Yeah. No, they did a great job.
That was awesome. I think
the effects on that alone, that's very hard to do.
The whole movie, the way the whole movie was done was just phenomenal. But we went in thinking, I thought it was going to be a mob movie. I thought it was going to be two black guys just fucking like selling
Prohibition.
During the Prohibition. That's what I thought the movie was going to be about. So that's what I was excited about. Max saw the horror adventure, so she thought something bad was going to happen. So she was interested. And then obviously we got hit. Like when the vampire thing came out, we were like, So what got me was the first guy. The second he showed up to the house and he was smoking. And right once he asked to enter in, I looked at her, I was like, oh, it's a vampire movie. And she was like, no, it's not. And I was like, no, he's a vampire, I promise you. I was like, that he asked to come into the house. She was like, why do you know that? And I was like, I don't know, fucking video games, dude. Just video games teach you shit.
Has there been a good vampire video game?
There was one I played. It's not Van Helsing. What the fuck is it called? I think it might just be called Vampire or some shit like that. It was good.
Do you remember Blood Rain? Wasn't that a video game? There was a redheaded chick with a bowl cut, and she had knives that would come out of her forearms, or not out of the forearms, but it was like a gauntlet she wore that she squeezed and the blade would fling forward.
That's dope.
And I feel like I played that as a kid. I feel like it was really good.
I don't know what that is.
I think it was called Blood Rain.
I have no
Fuck. Has there been a good vampire game though?
I'm telling you, the one I played, it was good. Like you were an actual vampire. You had to hide from people because you couldn't get caught. Yeah, it was
like, sandbox. I mean,
yeah, it's a newer game, but it was based out in like the early 1800s or some shit like that in London. It was a fun game. It was. So it was good. It was just I feel like it got too easy.
Yeah.
Because like
once you
became a good vampire, like I don't know, like so I like games when I don't like too challenging of games, truly. I'm not someone who's like, I want to be a sweat over a video game, dude. I'm trying to play a game so I could have fun.
Same.
But
I want a good story.
But that's what it is. And so what was happening was like while I was going through the story, it just was so easy to just like get to the next one. It didn't feel engaging enough. Yeah. So
you know what game I really liked? I actually liked all of them, which is shocking because usually there's one that's not the best out of the series. Max Payne. Did you ever play those?
Never played them.
Fuck, bro. Max Payne 1, 2, and 3, which came out on new gen consoles, they were really good. Story was really good.
That's what I heard. I heard that the new Max Payne only had good ratings.
Yeah.
So, no, but I never played it.
Try to pick up those.
The only one that I played was I've been playing recently is BG3, but it's fucking.
I might get into old video games.
You should play BG3.
What is that?
Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh.
Yeah, you'll have fun. It'll be a fun one.
BG3. Just call it Baldur's Gate, bro.
Do you see how many words that is?
Baldur's Gate, 2 words.
Yep, BG3. A lot easier.
Why 3?
Third one.
I thought it was just called Baldur's Gate.
It's third one.
Out of what?
Out of 3.
What were the first 2 called?
Baldur's Gate.
Skyrim. Skyrim 2.
Yep. I mean, it's Elder Scrolls. It's not Skyrim.
Wait, what?
Elder Scrolls.
What's this new game that people are talking about? 33 or 32?
I don't know. I've only
seen... One of the guys I follow said that like there was a collector's edition that people were scalping for thousands of dollars.
I've seen. And I have no clue what this game is.
Expedition 33 or some shit. I have no fucking
clue what this game is. I saw one ad on it and I watched it. It looked really good. But it's like not an anime game, like the Final Fantasy games. That's what it looked like to me. Like you know, like the camera angle type deal. That's what it looked like to me and reminded me of. So I don't...
You know what the problem is? Some of those games all blend together. What's the one hard combat game with the guy with the main character? He's wearing like a diaper and the jar on his head. And a fight game and stuff. And like...
What the fuck?
Fuck. It's along the lines of Dark Souls and shit like that. I feel like all those games blend together. Dark Souls. And what's the other one that's like similar?
Bloodborne, I think the other one.
Yeah, Bloodborne. All these games, like, they're just you're a character. Elden Ring. You're just a character. You're a small character, and all the game is fighting these giant characters. That's
beat the shit out of you.
Yeah, they're just God mode, big.
And I love when people talk about that.
Aren't they all the same? Yeah. Aren't they just called? I'm a little guy fighting a big guy, and not like a big guy, like a 9-foot guy. They're all like skyscrapers that you're fighting.
Not only that, what gets me is when people are like, "Oh, you just got to get good for the game," and then I watch people play. And it's like, no, it looks like you got to get really good at pattern recognition. Because it's just like when people tell me, oh, once you beat it, because you can keep going back and the bosses do the same combos. And I'm like, so how's that entertaining? So the first time you just get your ass beat until you finally get it. And then it's just like, I could keep replaying the same thing. To me, that's not an entertaining game. I got buddies who always want to get me into it. I had one friend, he was just like, bro, just play. I was like, I played for a few hours. It wasn't like I gave the game 5 minutes. I gave it a few hours. And it
like
wasn't...
you said, once you pick up, like, the character does that means the fireball's coming. Yeah. So you know you just got to go to the left.
Go somewhere else.
Yeah.
No, I'm not doing all that. That's stupid.
That's what I'm saying. Like you said, it's just pattern recognition. It's like, the boss always has a tell. The boss, like, when he does this, that means the lightning
this is coming.
Yeah.
Oh, you need to get out of the way. You need, and then it's like, it's a skill issue. It's not a skill issue. The game's all right. Yeah, it has good ratings. You know why I think it has good ratings? The followers. Like the people who are just like heavily dedicated
the story,
to the game.
Maybe it's the story. Is the story
so
good
my
on
buddy,
games? Maybe it's the story.
My buddy said you have to get into the lore of the game. If you pay attention to the lore and actually explore the world, it's really interesting because they connect all of them.
Oh.
And so that's where he said it's really cool. But even when they explain the story to me, I'm like, nah.
Like these would be, they intrigue me and they look like when I see people playing like those games, like, oh, that looks like fun, like whatever. But then I'm like, I don't have 1,000 hours to suck into this.
See, that's the thing. I'm not.
I'm good for
Again,
gaming for
I'm
all
not
about at
sweating.
most an hour.
I'm not sweating over a game either.
Yeah.
Like if I start getting frustrated like that, like
I'm
the
a
only
noob.
game I ever played sweating with is like when I play with my boys on Call of Duty. That was the only time where it was like because we're a group and so the whole goal is to just win.
Yeah.
But then I also got away from those games because I was like, I'm tired of fucking.
I
doing
wait
this.
for you guys to run a room. I throw a flashbang in there.
You're such a cunt.
Why would you do that? Because I want to kill everyone else.
Chaos.
John Wick.
It's like that's my kill. Those are my kills. You're just a kill thief, aren't you?
Yeah.
Just wait till the last second. You're like, ha!
My favorite thing in Call of Duty games is to blow people up.
HE everything.
HE?
Heavy explosives.
Oh. And I like, you know what I like to do? I like bouncing grenades. That's my favorite shit.
So bouncing the
I love bouncing a grenade off a wall and blowing somebody up on the other side.
So when we were playing
Or
Warzone,
sticky grenades. I love when you just like whoop and like in Halo, that was my favorite shit was the stick
fucking
something.
blue one, bro. And the thing in Halo, when you get hit with that, like you're dead.
know it's that's what I like. I think I'm a psychopath because that's a little part of my
because they
brain
know.
goes, oh, you know you're about to die, and I like that you know you're about to
my
die.
favorite is to chase them. If you get stuck, you're like, you're fucking dying with me, bitch.
Yeah.
You go chase them down. You try to fucking be like, come here, ho.
Yeah.
We're both dying
Right
today.
next to them. I don't know what it is. I like to know that they know that I, you know what I mean? There's a little bit of light
Like,
left.
I want you to know that I was abusing you.
Yeah. Well,
you're a dickhead.
that was a great episode. What else is new? Anything else before we sign out? No?
Yeah, don't take physics.
Physics!
I said physics.